Welcome to Yuuki's Gaming Commentaries, ladies and gentlemen. For today, we are going to be talking about why I don't buy games on day one. And we're going to be talking about this from a 2024 perspective, but we are going to go over back in time a little bit for this video. When I'm talking about back in time, I actually legit mean we're going back in time to a time where day one games were actually the norm. Okay? To understand this topic, we need to go back to 2009. Why 2009 particularly? Because we need to go back to the time when reservation cards were actually a thing in the gaming landscape. And by gaming reservation cards, I literally mean these guys. Does anybody remember this type of card that you see on Target whenever a new game is going to be eventually released? If you do, congratulations, your gaming license has been renewed for the 2024-2025 streaming year. Anyway, as you guys can see, this was the norm back in 2008 when at Target you would see these type of cards. They look like mini credit cards, and it's a game that is going to be released within the next few months. And there's going to be a release date of X, Y, and Z. So, for example, we have Pokemon Mystery Dungeon Explorers of Time, whenever it was a thing. January, February, March, April 23rd, 2008. This game released 2008. But you would get this card, you would buy this card, okay? And then you would present this said card to the target person when the game releases on that particular day. You would present the card and then you would pay the difference of the actual price. For example, if the game was $30, you would actually pay 25 plus tax because of this card giving you 10 to $5 off. Basically, it's a $5 discount card, but you have to present it to the target guy or target person in the store to get your game. This was the norm back in 2008. Another norm in 2008, 2009, 2010 was the idea of midnight releases. What I mean by midnight release, I literally mean a midnight release. For example, Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, and I'm not talking about the new one that came out in 2022. I am talking about the old one of 2009. Why is this the case? Because back in 2009, the hype around Call of Duty was very high. As you guys can see in this image right here, a lot of people are lining up, but not for coffee, not for Starbucks, or not for Verizon Wireless. You're talking about GameStop here. This was when a lot of people started the whole midnight release parties where they would camp at 4 p.m. afternoon PST and get their game at 12 a.m. PST. Okay, Pacific Standard Time. That's a midnight release. So literally, you are buying the game on day one. It just so happens that it's day one midnight. This was the norm back in 2009 when the original Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2 came out. That's where a lot of people went to these parties, these little camp outs. They would literally camp all day. Not only just GameStop. Best Buy also did some things like this. Any game store back in 2009 had a midnight release party. Okay, now of course you do see October 28th for new Modern Warfare 2, but look at how much little the crowd is now. This was the norm back then, though. Okay, now we got the travel back in time aspect. Let's go fast forward to nearly today, where we need to talk about a term that a lot of people associate with when it comes to midnight release or reservations or buying a game on day one. And the term, everybody knows this term, is FOMO. What is FOMO? It is the short abbreviated for fear of missing out. Okay, so FOMO is still a thing today. It will never leave, so don't expect it to leave. But fear of missing out is a real thing, not just in gaming, but in anything that you purchase. So what is fear of missing out? A worried feeling that you may miss exciting events that other people are going to, especially caused by things you see on social media. Back in 2009, Twitter, Facebook was still in its baby thing, baby phase. It's not as big as it is now. So when you see Twitter, when you see Facebook, Instagram, TikTok was still in the process of being made. Anything you see on social media, whether if it's an influencer like Tim the Type Man, who's playing a game like Call of Duty Black Ops 6, or an influencer like somebody who's holding a brand new handbag, everybody wants that new handbag now. That's the thing when it comes to today's marketplace. Now, back then, there was still FOMO, and it is still there, but nowadays it's gotten more of fear of missing out. Okay, but why does this exist? This exists because now, if you don't get the game on day one, you are fearing of, well, missing out. That is the term, fear of missing out, or FOMO. Now, what does this have to do with in terms of my experience of not buying games on day one? You're gonna find out in a moment because we need to talk about why fear of missing out is not actually as bad as you think. For that, we need to take a look at another term, at another search term I did before the start of this video, and that term is actually a search query. Why is it a good idea to buy video games on day one? And for that, the AI has suggested that it is generally not recommended to buy video games on the day of their release. Instead, you wait a few months to get a better deal and a closer experience to what the developer intended. This is especially true in 2024 terms. Why am I saying that? We're gonna tackle a Reddit post I found before the start of this video about the reason why. But generally speaking, the reason why you want to wait after day one is because of this puppy right here. I'm gonna do this in green. That's right, sales. Now, obviously, you are getting it cheaper, but it actually makes sense in some cases. There are some reasons why you might want to wait to buy a video game in particular. Sales, publisher might put a game on sale after its release if they're panicking of not making it on day one. And like I said, FOMO is panicking, but counter FOMO is a sale. So counter FOMO is a sale. FOMO is no sale, it's panicking, okay? Experience. You might get closer to experience to what the developer intended. Okay, so for this, we will be tackling the post from Reddit, which I'll get to in just a quick bit. But what else can you expect when you wait? Amazon, GameStop, Best Buy, and Walmart plus Target actually sell more discounts when they're closer to big events. For example, what's coming up in about a week or two, a week from now, on a Thursday? Thanksgiving. What's after Thanksgiving, everybody? Black Friday. What do you expect on Black Friday? You expect sales. Oh, and what's after that? Small. Oh no, I'm not gonna count Saturday. Saturday is Small Business Saturday, but I don't think they offer discount. But I will tell you Monday. Cyber Monday, if you are an online shopper like myself, on Amazon, they will offer discounts. Okay. Also, if you are on Steam in particular, you're going to look for Fest, a Next Fest, or something like a sale discount festival on Steam, especially if you like indie games or other games. Let's say Sega decides to put a Sega sale, and it just so happens that Sonic X Shadow Generations is one of the games they're putting on sale. Congratulations! If you waited for that long, you could get it at $25 off or something like that. So it's not a bad idea to wait. Okay, it's not a bad idea. Okay, now, like I mentioned earlier, we were going to tackle that Reddit post. Let's tackle that now. Tackle that Reddit post. So this is coming from r/gaming tuna lurch. Um, and let's read it piece by piece, and let's analyze this particular post. The title is "There's no point in buying games." Oops, let me just do that again. There's no point in buying games on their release day anymore. Let's tackle it piece by piece. I used to buy games that I was really looking forward to as soon as they came out. Sometimes it would even pre-order. I get the physical disc home, pop it in the PS4, of course, and play. Around halfway through, though, the last gen life cycle, things started to get much worse. Change for the worse, excuse me. Currently, every new game that gets released is unplayable without updates. So now I wait a month or two or three for the bugs to be fixed and the price to drop. Or I don't buy it at all. Turns out to be a stinker. The bottom line is that games are unusable. Not excuse me. The bottom line is that they are not usable the way they should be on the day they came out. So there is really no point in buying them immediately. Okay, let's tackle this piece by piece. So this person used to buy games on day one, basically speaking. Then, with the way that the game works nowadays, they have to wait for 2 or 3 months before the game is playable, and they see the point of not buying the game on day one. This is actually true, and here's how we can define that. Defining why this is true. This is totally true in today's marketplace. Totally true. And how can we justify this answer or this post? Let's go over the comment section to see if they actually agree. Let's see here. Oh, they're just talking about another game, I believe. So this person right here says, I started playing Cyberpunk 2077 in particular. After the anime came out, it was actually super fun. The updates they added to made the game more playable and immersive. I'm in the same boat. So this person bought the game Cyberpunk 2077, I believe it's called, um, after the anime edition of that game came out. This is after the updates started to come in. And after that, the updates did start to come in and it got better. But remember, this was somebody who probably bought the game on day one. Yeah. So back to the day one aspect, this person had to wait at least 3+ months before the game got better. Now, I want to drive something home a little bit earlier here before we go on to the next portion. When it comes to Call of Duty, this is actually a bad thing. When it comes to Call of Duty, this is actually a bad thing. And here's why. Let's go to the whiteboard. Um, we're on Canva right now for this portion. We need to talk about this in a whiteboard scenario. So just keep in mind that there's gonna be a lot of writing for this portion. So let's tackle the Call of Duty life cycle. Okay, actually, let me do this the right way. We're gonna go to the actual toolbar here. We are going to make a square. Let me actually do one of their samples, just so that we can do this faster. Okay, we're gonna remove all this on the left. Move all this. I'm just using whiteboard Canva for this one. Okay, let's break down the COD lifecycle. If you're a fan of Call of Duty, you should know this. Okay, the first part we're gonna tackle is COD new game releases. Okay, in this section, new game release. The second part is the second part is going to be players by game. Then this is going to be um micro transactions. Okay, so new game releases for COD. Okay, when a new game releases, it can be a day one release. Let's say October 25th, 2024, because that's Black Ops 6. All right, so the day one release people go into a few camps. I'm going to um zoom in here. Day one release, people who enjoy the franchise, people who are content creators, in particular COD, and number three, FOMO. Oops, fear of missing out. Okay, so that's for when the game releases. Okay, if you're on the day one cycle, you follow this path. Either people who enjoy the game, or you're a content creator who talks about COD, or you fear of missing out. That's the day one release. Next, players who buy the game day one, players who buy later. Players who buy later get more than those who bought day one. Why is this the case? Because at the time of day one, let's say in day one, you only get 6 maps. It's been a while since I legit played a Call of Duty game. So the beta for COD 6, Black Ops 6 I did back in October, does not count because I have not bought a legit Call of Duty game for a while. So game, so those who buy it later get more than those who bought it day one because the new content is already added at the time of buying COD. This can be in the form. This can be in a few form. New maps already added. New camo grind with an S. And let's say we're going to add another point here. See if I can copy this. If I can. I'm going to link it to here as well. And new mode. Okay. And microtransactions is the last section. I'm gonna oops. Microtransactions. Those with microtransactions. Buy the skins or another one if I can do it there. Buy bundles. Okay. So we established that so far day one players, people who enjoy the franchise, COD creators, and FOMO, fear of missing out. Players who buy it later have more than day one because new maps have already been added, new camo grinds, and new modes have been added to the game. But those of you who are into the microtransactions buy the skins and the bundles. But here's why the earlier post from the Redditor um is going to be justified here. All of this comes at a cost other than $70. There's one commonality with all of this in terms of COD. Actually, let me not use the pen here. I'm going to tell you that all of this, let me just change this back to here. All of this stuff point to the following. Game cost $70. Number two, lots of bugs and glitches on day one. Leaderboards don't work. What's that thing? Progression is buggy. Lots of cheaters, of course, and any other bad game design sin you can have. Okay? Seriously. Okay. So all of this, what I just showed you, is why you should not buy day one COD, especially day one. There's gonna be a lot of bugs and glitches. Now, no matter what happens in any video game, you are still gonna get bugs and glitches. But this is the where, but Call of Duty gets a special case where this has been going on for every year, starting since 2021. Progression is buggy. All you have to look at or watch is Blame Truth or even Foley on this matter. Blame Truth, the Codfather, actually discusses this in way more detail than I'm going to. Lots of cheaters. I don't need to say more of this. There's a lot of cheaters in COD. Why? Because they want to be something like LA Thieves or Optic Gaming or name an esports team out there. They want to be like them because they want to be getting the money. So they're going to cheat to get that money. Oh, and by the way, any other game design elements in that you can have out there. There's doors now in COD. Was there COD doors back in the 2009? No, not really. So this is why COD gets this special treatment of me breaking it down on in terms of the day one scenario. And even then, I would still not buy COD in today's day and age. Why? Let me give you the special scenario, folks. This is so special, I have its own section. Oops, let me do that. There we go. That's why. Okay, let's break this down. COD is a yearly cycle game. You're gonna get a new COD every year. It does not matter if it's Black Ops 6, if it does not matter if it's Modern Warfare 3. You are getting a new COD game every single year. Nothing carries over. Uh-uh. What I mean by this, no stats, no gun, weapon, camo, no. Nothing carries over. And even if it does, you have to buy the other stuff all over again. You start over, so you spend another you spend okay, let's break this down in terms of how much you spend. Okay, let's go to an empty spot here. Now comes out the pen. Okay, COD by itself is about $70. Okay, big fat $70. Microtransactions is about $20, but there's an asterisk because it will determine on which one you're buying. And then BP is Battle Pass. Is about $10 if you buy the normal one, $40 if you add the black cell. So I am going to jump to the black cell. So this in total is already going to be about 90 $130. Okay? $130 if you go this route. Now, obviously there's another case where you buy the Vault edition, which is $100. So we're going to add, so this is normal, okay, NOR. But if you add the whole Vault edition, $100, so that's gonna be another 30. So that's 160 if you're going to buy a Vault or VE Vault edition. All right. Next year, you have to do it again because nothing carries over. Nothing is going to carry over. You're going to do the same thing. Okay. This is why it's dangerous to buy COD on the day one. First, you have to spend about 130. Second, what kind of bugs are you going to encounter? Third, how long is it going to take to fix those bugs? Oh, and by the way, did I tell you it's a 1 year cycle? Number four, the game lasts only 1 year, quote unquote. Now, obviously, you can buy it. You can buy the game in 2027, but you're playing a 2024 game, meaning you are behind by 3 years. And every other gamer out there in 2027 is not going to buy Call of Duty Black Ops 6 in 2027. They are going to buy Black Ops 9. For I'm just giving you an example. meaning they are far ahead than you are. So basically saying, if you want to be a content creator, especially day one, you better cough up 130 on day one, and that's if you play normal. That's insane. And remember what the redditor said. Remember what the redditor said. It's not good to buy day one games anymore. Now, what about me? Now, I talked about now the general term, the general idea. Why don't I do it? Well, it comes down to audience, obviously. It also comes to data. There's a little bit of data analysis we need to talk about here. So I'm going to spoil you guys a little bit with this. I've been doing this for the last 3 weeks in terms of data. As you guys can see, you guys, I tried the Call of Duty beta. Hold on. Let me actually go to my channel. We're going to go back to October something. I remember doing this October something. Because I remember doing the beta. And I was doing it live. Right here. It was October. Let's see what they say. August 31st. Never mind. So back in August, we tried this. I will tell you, according to our data right now, it's 35 views. Now, obviously, it was a little bit of a different time back in August. Let's take a look at that more in retrospect. Go back to August 2024. What were we doing in August? This is going to give you guys a hint. Back in August, this got 35 views, okay? Call of Duty, 35 views for the beta for Black Ops 6, okay? This is how much you do not like COD on my channel. Watch this. Because in August, we did Mario Builder as well. And we did Mario 105, 58, 146, 192, 161, and 51. Okay? That means, let me just do this a little tighter there. That means all of these streams, including this one, by the way, are more going to get more viewers than this puppy. Why? Because what is the concept of this channel? Mario, Mario, VR, Mario, 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 and more Mario. That's why. You, as the audience, determined that you guys want more Mario than COD. Okay? So I went with that idea. Good thing I listened to all of you. Because here we are in November. Let me go back to my numbers here. Here we are in October, November. Ever since I listened to you guys, every stream here has gotten more views than that Call of Duty stream. Except for potentially one of them. As you can see, however, all streams have more views than that stream alone, except for Rocket League and the recent episode of Pokemon Unbreakable Ties. Most likely because we did that very late at night because I was late. And the last night stream of Mario, but because it's a brand new ROM hack. But other than that, all streams have more views than that one stream of COD. So why? So why is this the case? I don't buy in game one, day one. There's also a lot of hype. You gotta understand. There's a lot of hype too, and all the gaming content creators are going to jump on that hype. So you have to consider. You got to consider your audience, and you have to consider who's gonna buy Sonic X Shadow Generation. Now, if this channel was generally speaking on Sonic stuff, then yes, I would have been on the FOMO side. However, let's remind ourselves what Yuuki Productions is about. Not Sonic stuff other than VR, but gaming, but in particularly Mario, VR, reactions, podcasting. Oh, and gaming news, by the way. Does anybody see, in terms of gaming, anybody see a Sonic element? VR does not count. Okay, VR does not count because it's more of an experience. So no VR. VR games does not count in this retrospect. What does count is this. And this. Maybe. Okay? So a lot of people want that Mario. A lot of people want that Sonic stuff. A lot of you want that Pokemon stuff. Maybe if I made a channel for COD, I would have been on FOMO. But because I don't have a COD channel, I'm good. But what about the Sonic X Shadow Generation argument? Would I have done it if I did it on Francis the Hedgehog channel? Maybe. But even here, we have a discrepancy. Look at this. The reaction videos, all of them are very good. I'm not going to cap, so thank you very much for that. But which one is more popular? You would think, because it is a Sonic based channel, that everybody would say this stuff, this from Shadow the Hedgehog. But no, actually, in this case, it's actually Mario. I am wondering the same thing. Why is Mario more popular on a Sonic based character channel? That's my intuition. That's my question here. But but didn't this one get more than 1,000 views? This one right here in particular, yeah. But if you combine all of this, 1,500, 1,000, 2,400, 2,800. It would take one more of this video type to get to this. Okay, one more. That's insane. Okay, so day one, would a video game like Sonic X Shadow Generations break the tie? Maybe. But let's get to my point now. Why don't buy day one? It's very simple. Very simple point. Number one, number one, sale. Waiting for sale. Number two, Now, obviously, waiting for sale. Now, it was my birthday on that day that the game came out, but because I'm actually going for VR in 2025, that's why I'm not buying it on day one. Now, if this was not a factor, if this was not a factor, that's why I'm gonna put an asterisk. Then yes, I would have gotten the game now. But I'm going to wait because I'm going to get a VR headset, and that costs over $300. So that's why I have not gotten the game yet. And besides, we're going to go back to that point about updates. The game could be even better than it is now. And number three, 2025. And number three refers to, and I'm going to specifically say there is this for Sonic X Shadow Gen. That's why I'm waiting for 2025. Number one, I want it on sale. Number two, I'm going for the headset this year. Number three, on 2025, we're going to have this channel for this game and any others in the Sonic area. That's why. That's why you waited for this point right here. All right. So that is today's commentary. So once again, why I don't buy games on day one? I'm waiting for a sale. Number two, I'm going for a headset in VR 2025. And number three, in particular for this game, 2025 is going to be more on new experiences on this channel than anything else. That is this one. If you learn something, hit that like, hit that share, hit the subscribe button, and we'll see you guys in our next one. Enjoy.